And also being the third Sunday, this is Mission Moment Sunday. So I'm going to ask our chairperson, Dave Huffman, to introduce our speaker today for the mission ministry that we are supporting right now during Lent. And perhaps he looks familiar because I think he was here before. So I'll put this back for Dave. There you go. Thank you, Dave.
Good morning. As you're aware, this year's Advent collection is going to support Katallasso Clinic, and today we have, it's my pleasure to introduce Steve Kurtz. Steve is the Director of Development at Katallasso, and he's here to tell us a little bit about where your money's going to go.
Are we good? Pastor Dave made it sound like he was surprised that I got invited back. Like, hey, here's one that actually has been here twice now. I just want to say also, as Pastor Dave, I'm going to be in the back afterwards. I have a candy collection too, so if you want to bring candy, I'll be back there. I'll take your candy collection with me. My kids would enjoy that. As Pastor said, I'm Steve Kurtz. I am from Katallasso Family Health Center here in York City, where we are delivering missional, faith-based health care to the uninsured and underinsured population. Some of you have heard this before. Some of you may have been there. If you haven't been, I'm going to invite you to come for a tour at the end here. But I want to say, first of all, thank you. We were a part of your Advent offering a year ago, and we were stunned by your generosity. I'm completely shocked at when we received your gift. We want to say thank you. It really, really impacts and matters. It blessed us tremendously. I want to bring an update. That gift that you've given, and I don't know how many of you have been here, or maybe you're newer to the congregation, but you have been with us from the beginning, back 10 years. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary. I have a few cards I brought along. I left a few in the back, so when we dismiss, whoever leaves first gets one. I don't have enough for everybody, but don't leave during pastor's sermon or anything. But there's just a pamphlet or a sheet that we printed up for our 10th anniversary. It gives an update of what God has been doing at the clinic over these last 10 years. We just celebrated our 15,000th patient visit in January. We are so excited. That's a milestone for us and for you. You were there for that through your support. We'll have 3,500 unique patients. We think we'll hit that number in a few weeks. We're having close to 30 new patients every month come to us, enjoying the Katallasso Clinic family. We are, again, as review or new, Katallasso, that's a mouthful, isn't it? It's kind of a strange thing. Katallasso is a Greek word. It's a Bible word. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, God in Christ was reconciling the world to himself, not counting our sins against us. That word reconcile is katallasso, and that's really the why behind the what of what we do and why we do it, that we are there seeking to reconcile what is broken in bodies and in souls. So our 34 medical providers, I think it's 34 now, we have 4 new medical providers joining us just this month. So I think we're up to 34 now. So your numbers are going to be out of date here already. 34 medical providers volunteering their time at our clinic, plus RNs, plus our staff members, plus countless volunteers and the community folks coming alongside of us. They volunteer their time and come to put their hands on patients, praying for them, healing them in word and in the gifts that God has given them, giving of their own time. That's how all of this works, and we're completely donor funded. So we don't receive government funding. We don't rely on any of that. We're free to do our mission. Our providers, our doctors love coming to the clinic because there's no insurance companies. There's no boxes to check. It's just them and the patient, face to face, one-on-one, and they love it. They love it. They said, this is why we got into medicine, this. For other reasons, it's become other things in their other settings, but when they come to the clinic, they love what they experience. I'll share a quick story and then I'll give you an update. We had almost 7 out of 10 of our patients are non-English speaking. Non-English speaking. I think York County, the last statistics is 94% of us are only English speaking. So we have a large concentration of those from the nations. And of course, Spanish would be the largest. We have a large now growing Haitian population speaking Haitian Creole. So if you speak Haitian Creole, I'll hire you today. No, I wish I could. Maybe we will after the Lenten offering. We'll hire you. But if we have language translations donated through WellSpan. We use their language wonderful gift from WellSpan. So we have a patient come in, Spanish speaking, with one of our dear young providers. We've got a lot of young doctors. It's wonderful. Retired and those that are utterly overwhelmed with family and their job and their giving back. But Dr. Dearman was with a patient probably about 4 or 5, coming up maybe a year ago, within the last year. She's Spanish speaking, so we have we're using the language line. She was dealing with a lot of financial pressure, a lot of other things going on in her life. And Dr. Dearman just felt at the end of his visit that he just wanted to give her a hug. Just a hug. Wrapped his arms around her, gave her a hug. They both cried a bit. And she went out and was rescheduled her appointment and, follow-up. At the follow-up appointment, she meets with Dr. Dearman. They go through, she was doing much better spiritually. Her spirits were higher. She was on medications and doing better. But at the end of the visit, at the end of the patient interaction, she says, no translation. She had them end the call, and Dr. Dearman wasn't sure we're not. So we brought in our practice manager, Diceli Rivera, who's bilingual. And the patient said, tell Dr. Dearman that hug meant the world to me. Now, she had the translation service turned off because she didn't want them thinking something weird was going on, right? Which was very intuitive, but she wanted to very personally say, that hug meant the world to me. And so coming out of a very difficult 3 years that we've had, where hugs have been far and few between, we are seeking to meet people through delivering the gospel as expressed through extending the love of Christ in healthcare, through hugs, through deploying the gifts and talents God has given to our medical community to bring healing to those in great need. And something as simple as a hug. If you think of Katallasso, I want you to think of just getting up close, eye to eye, face to face. We're putting names to the 40+ thousand folks here in York County that do not have health insurance, who are not seeking care, who are putting off needed and routine preventative maintenance in their bodies off because of cost. We're meeting them there. We're getting to know them. We're putting names to them. We're hearing their stories. Our doctors are spending 45 minutes in visits with them, getting to know them. And they become family then. And we wrap our arms around them, whether physically in a hug or through the great care that they receive. And that is all because of what you have provided. So you are there through your gifts. You're also invited to be there physically. We would find a place for all of you to serve, to come alongside these dear folks. And I will say this as I leave, I know I'm taking time. I want you to also know that since I was last here, you all became parents again. So some of you thought you were out of that stage of life, but you're not. You 2 baby boys were born, and you're part of that story. We had a young woman come to us very distressed with an unplanned pregnancy just last year. Scared and utterly terrified, she went to visit another clinic, was given a few pills to take care of the problem. She took her first abortion pill and immediately regretted it. terrified. She made a few phone calls and ended up at our clinic. Our women's health provider was able to meet her and begin a regimen of care that reversed the effects. And in the process, she found out that she didn't just have one baby, she was pregnant with twins. And those twins were born in May, twin boys last year. So congratulations, you're all parents. You were there. You provided that environment for her in her moment of need. And so I think that is something to celebrate. You're a very community-minded church, and you are blessing many, many people, many you'll never meet. But I invite you to come. You can meet them. I'll put you to work, and we can work alongside them. But Aldersgate, thank you. Thank you, thank you. We cannot express our gratitude enough for what you're doing in the community. So there's ways to get involved and a little bit of an update here as you go. Check the website out. I'll be around all day. And so thank you. We love you. Thank you. Right? We're good?
I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise, treasures that fade are never enough. You came along and put me back together, and every desire's now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing, nothing is better than you. I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, failures and flaws. You've seen them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley. There's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you. Nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. Turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you. There's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you.